by my head, but I've experienced freedom because of men who did. Forever thankful to every veteran's sacrifice. This is Vets and Coffee, the podcast. Finally, a podcast 100% about veterans. Looking at veterans making a difference in the veterans community. We'll help veterans and we'll spotlight veteran-owned businesses and businesses that support and hire veterans. Plus, guzzle down some amazing coffee. Welcome to Vets and Coffee, the podcast. Now your host, Tree McLean.
All right. Good morning. How we doing today? Let me turn this off right quick. We've got a couple guests on today with vasttexas.org and the founder of it, Valerie James, and Robert Green. Valerie James being an Army veteran and Mr. Green being a Marine Corps veteran. We thank you for coming on today.
Hey, thank you for having us on, Chris.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. So let's hear... When did you serve, Valerie?
Oh, wow. So I served in the military twice. I went in way back in like 80-something, close to 90. And then I got out. And then when 9/11 happened, I don't know what seized my brain. I had to go back in. So I re-upped that. Well, I guess that's it. And I was immediately sent to Afghanistan.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
What did you do in the Army?
So the first time I was 6 years, I was a psychiatric counselor on a locked psych ward in many different countries. And when I went back in, they said, needs of the Army. I said, I'm going to be a counselor again. They said, needs of the Army, we need you to give the guns out. But even though they made me a logistician, they still kept me doing the psych part.
Okay. All right. That's awesome. So, and then how many years did you do after 9/11?
After that, so let me see, 6 the first time, 4 the next, and I did 3 years kind of guard.
Oh, wow. Cool. All right, Mr. Green, let's hear it. What you got?
United States Marine Corps. I enlisted in 1995, right after high school. I was in for 2 years, and I didn't do any tours overseas or anything of that sort. While I was there, my MOS was communication electronics. I was a field wireman. So basically, we'd go out and we'd set up all the communication for all the COs to be able to converse with each other.
All right. Great. Hey, you did your service. I served in the 80s myself. Yeah.
What branch, Chris?
I was Army.
I thought so. I see that smile on your face. So.
Army Aviation. Yeah. Actually, my best friend went in the Marine Corps, and I was going to go in the Marine Corps with him. And I got to the recruiter, and I said, yeah, I want to go into aviation. He goes, well, you got to be a grunt first. I went, no, I want to be an aviation. He goes, no, you got to be a grunt first. I said, no, I'll go in the Army. I got to pick and choose there. Yeah. So that's great. So let's hear about Vast, Texas.
Oh, okay. So Vast is a 501c3. It's so close to my heart. We started in 2018. And Vast came out of a lot of desperation. I in between my tours, I was homeless twice. You hear a lot about veterans who are suffering on the street with mental illness. I was one of those. So yeah, after I got out twice in between. And then I when I got out, I kind of called myself like a dream catcher. I caught everyone else's pain and fixed it, but I didn't practice any type of venting once I got their pain in me. So I crashed under their pain when I got out. I mean, I literally just threw all my stuff away one day when I got out and just went to live on the streets because I just didn't want to be around people anymore.
Wow, that's something. So you're homeless twice then. Wow. So how long were you homeless?
Under a year.
Under a year.
Just on the streets of DC. And
DC.
Not safe. People were like, you are nuts. But at the time I was not in my right mind.
Yeah.
And the first time they said, well, if we house her, she'll be okay. That's it. Well, that doesn't work. That's kind of one of the gaps that's missing. And then it happened. When I moved to Texas, it happened again. And this time the Texans, my new family said, there's something wrong here. Let's not just house, let's get her some help.
Yeah.
And I became so healthy, I was able to return to them. That's when I returned to the military for 4 more years.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
That was 17 years ago. And I ended up from there becoming like the Harris County director of veteran services.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
In
That's
between seeing the homelessness, the gaps, and then seeing what was missing from the veteran services, I felt compelled to start VAST, because you meet so many suffering veterans on the street. And when the suffering gets to the worst part of a veteran's life, they will run into the law, and it's a great chance they'll end up going into jail.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
Oh, yeah.
VAST helps the people who have really been touched by the laws through mental health.
Yeah. So yeah, I had your buddy Jason Long on recently, the judge
Yes.
and his wife,
That's amazing.
and I'm trying to get Michelle Barnett on here, and she and I go to school together.
Oh.
Yeah, we go to service dog school together. Well, she's graduated. Her dog is River's awesome, But yeah, I'm trying to get her on, but she's in the middle of moving her house and doing all that. So she's been busy, but I'll get her on one of these days. Yeah.
Go get her.
So you say you work with veterans and everything. You work with homeless veterans, and you work with them that are in trouble with the law, right?
We get baskets calls from, everywhere. We got a homeless vet here. We see them at their worst, and we get them off the street, and we go into the jails twice a week. We have navigators. They go into the jails, and we work with them prior to them getting out to see, we had one veteran, he had been arrested. If you heard someone been arrested 4 times for burglary, you'd think career criminal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Turned out when we asked him, what was the reason this happened? Why do you keep burglarizing? He said, because it feeds his meth habit.
Yeah. He's just drug habit.
Yeah, he's not a career criminal. He's feeding an addiction. And once we got him that help, he's led a great life from there.
That's good. That's real good. Yeah.
It's always figuring out the why, because people and the Harris County put out a tweet. It was startling, the jail. They said we have 300 veterans incarcerated here. Other 300, over 250 are on psychiatric medications. They do not belong in the jail, but that's where they are.
Oh yeah, I believe it. Yeah. So you get them out of jail and you find them shelter to live in, or?
So VAST is happy to state that we have emergency housing. We can house them up to 6 weeks to help stabilize them, and then move them into transitional housing.
What do you use for housing? You use like hotels or motels, or?
At times we've had to pay for stuff dang near out of pocket, because we do a lot with a little. But right now, thank God, we have emergency housing in an actual house, 3 bedrooms, and it's through Tony West. It's a partnership we have with him called Houston's Loving Concerns.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can offer a bedroom in a house, 3 hots and a cot for 6 weeks, so we can stabilize you and put you someplace where you can get some emotional help.
Oh, that's great. And then at the same time, you maybe help them get back to work as well.
We do. We've helped people get state certified as mental health peer specialists.
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing about that, Chris, people, when they hire someone who has that certification, they want you to have a story. People are like, well, nobody's going to hire me. I have felonies. I have a history. They want the history.
Mm-hmm.
Because they need you to have some kind of background aside from the education.
Yeah. So it's a great story and everything, and it's just I like to hear about it and everything. I do. A lot of veterans, they don't want to talk about it.
We get them. If
some
you
are
want to hear a
ashamed of
story,
it. Some are ashamed of it.
You're speaking truth. We think we go from hero to zero the minute we get in trouble.
Yeah.
This guy has a compelling story. Vass was able to work with Robert Greene. His story is just stunning. Ask him. He can tell more about Vass than I can.
All right, Mr. Greene. Let's hear your story, Mr. Greene.
Well, the way that me and Valerie had come across each other's paths was I was incarcerated in Harris County Jail, and I was in a program called Stars and Stripes.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get to finish the program Stars and Stripes because I had gotten released. So upon my release, I was tired of going back to the same lifestyle that I had previously already had been living for over the past 20 years. Addiction, homelessness, incarceration, not able to obtain gainful employment. And throughout that time period, I had ended up losing my father. So when I had gotten released from jail, I was coming
Hey,
back.
Robert, I apologize. A little more, whatever you're comfortable with. How many times were you homeless and how many times were you incarcerated? Because your story is just a knee buckler. But whenever you're comfortable with, you can just
Yeah,
glam past if you want.
I've been incarcerated. I have 28 misdemeanors. I have 4 felonies, and I have 1 federal conviction too as well. I've been homeless a numerous amount of times. Um, Part of the reason of me being homeless, now it's kind of crazy because my lifestyle is a little bit different from everyone else's. I come from a very stable background. So my mother, my father, my sister, all of them have careers. All of them have been very influential people within the community. So for me to be able to accumulate, as many different convictions as I have is completely astounding. So, like I was saying, when I came out of incarceration this last time, I made a decision that I was not going to continue living that same type of lifestyle that I had always led. So, when I went into the reentry services at Harris County, they had suggested for me to contact Valerie. That was 3 years ago. Well, within those 3 years, I didn't utilize any of the housing or anything of that sort. But what Bass has done for me has empowered me by allowing for me to be able to affiliate myself with other people within the community that would help support my growth. Now, um, there were many different employment opportunities that I had. And throughout all of those different employment opportunities, they were rescinding on my job offer. So with them rescinding on the job offer left me extremely frustrated. So at that point, I took the initiative to be able to develop my own business basically from scratch, which is called Accelerate Pressure Washing Services today. Um, it took a lot of hard work, a lot of determination, a lot of empowerment by Valerie, and allowing for them to be able to help keep me stable within my mentality and allow for me to be able to focus on the things that are important and surround myself around people that would help support my growth, which they have done, and I'm extremely grateful for.
That's great. I actually did power washing years ago, and it's you can easily make some good money off of it. From power washing, I got into painting homes and repairing exterior work on homes and so forth. And I
Mhm.
created a business out of it years ago when I was still in law enforcement. But yeah, power washing's a good little business. That's great. So is that
Thank you.
are you in a house right now or an apartment somewhere or what?
No, I actually live in a home.
Okay, that's great.
Yes,
Yeah. All
yes.
right. So how's your business going? Going good?
It's actually going really good. I just finished doing Texas A&M Bioscience and Institute. I just finished cleaning their concrete flat work and the lower exterior of their building. I'm also putting in a bid to do a 11-story building for Texas A&M. And I've done a plethora of apartment complexes, residential homes, and retail
University
commercial.
of Houston.
Yes, University of Houston. I have a long resume
I
of.
wonder how you're getting those jobs. That's quite interesting. I bet you know someone I know.
Hey, well,
Yeah.
I get asked that question all the time. How am I getting these jobs? And I mean, I have to be truly honest with you. Man, it's just a blessing from God. It's just a hard work ethic. It's me being, boots on the ground, going out, talking to people, letting them know, what I do and the type of soft services that I can offer. And from there, it's just been phenomenal.
That's awesome. So, what is the name of your business again?
It's X is in X-ray, L is in Larry, R is in Robert, the number 8, Pressure Washing Services, LLC.
Awesome. Do you have?
Accelerate.
I got that.
You know, the Army ladies got to make sure everybody understands.
Are you going to school, Robert?
Sir?
Are you going to school?
No, I'm not currently going to school. I just finished taking a mental health peer specialist certification, which I have obtained through VAS, that allows for me to be able to go into the VA, to the Harris County criminal court systems, into prisons, and be able to instill some wisdom, some hope, and some courage in other people, letting them know that whatever barriers and obstacles that you face in your life, they can be overcomable if you have the determined, the discipline, and the initiative within yourself to be able to make your dreams a reality.
Do you have a website for your business?
Yes, I do.
What is that?
It is acceleratepressurewashing.com.
Okay, so just
Would you spell that out, Robert?
X is in X-ray, L is in Larry, R is in Robert, the number 8, pressure, PRESSUREWASHING.com. Acceleratepressurewashing.com.
Sorry about that. I was trying to fill this out, and at the same time, I got a message in and knocked it all out. But
there's a chat.
Yeah. So yeah, just if you want to, you can put it in private chat down there at the bottom of your screen. Just send that to me. I'm going to put it up on the screen for you. So while we're talking, people see your website because I want to promote you. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, I got some people asking in the chat as well. Yeah.
XLR.
There we go. Copy link. There we go. We're putting up this gentleman's information, and so you can see his pressure washing business and his website.
Wait, is it? Yes, I see somebody trying to ask. Is it Accelerate? Yeah, XLR8, letter 8, pressure washing.
Yeah. Yep.
Please call them up. Support the veterans.
I will.
Yeah,
that's a fact. So, Robert, how long have you had the business going now?
I've had my LLC for 2 years now. I actually started pressure washing probably 8 months after I had gotten released.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah.
I be telling Robert the Marine, like, smile more. He gets into that Marine zone. It's like, smile. It's like, man, when you talk. Yeah. You know, it was a gut punch. Yeah, you did it. Well done, Chris. I see Roberts. Because you know, he would get these jobs. He'd be so excited. He's great at IT. He got this killer job. Robert, tell that story, because you called me up and you said, "Yay, thank you, Vast. We did this. I got a job." I won't say who I hooked him up with. I won't say the name of the organization, but I got him hooked up with the organization to get hired. And what happened?
Yeah, it's really an interesting story. I don't want to throw any names out there of the companies, but I've had 4 big. Matter of fact, I'm a Cisco certified network associate, so I configure switches, routers, ASAs, do structured cabling and everything. That was my job while I was in the Marine Corps. So I followed through with that when I got out, but unfortunately, drugs, incarceration, a lot of those things had hindered me from excelling in that career. By me being a Cisco certified network associate, I had applied for many different companies trying to get back into the IT industry. And with my resume, my qualifications, my skills, the way that I conducted myself on the interview, they were offering me the job on the spot. But when they would get my background check, they would rescind on the job offer. It was one position where I was actually on my way to work that morning. And while I was on my way to work that morning, I had already previously had given my 2-week notice to the current job that I was working at. That was just, pennies on the dollar type of job. So I was really excited about this opportunity to actually get back into the IT industry. And on my way to work, after 2 weeks of them not calling me or saying anything about them rescinding on the job offer, on my way to work, they called me up and told me don't arrive on the property. That was very heart crunching for me. And I had a whole bunch of hopes, aspirations and things like that of actually being able to get back into something that I love to do. And by them rescinding on the job offer, that was the breaking point for me that opened up my eyes for me to realize that if I wanted to be successful in life, I was going to have to change my career path, and I was going to have to change my career path towards something that would not be frowned upon. And that service business was pressure washing. The number one prized possession that people have are their homes. And it's kind of ironic how, with people investing everything that they have into their homes, they allow for their number one prized possession to become dirty. So I felt as if I could be able to enhance their curb appeal, and I could do a great job at it, and also allow for them to know that if I'm out there on their site and anything were to happen, they are 100% protected, and I carry all liability on myself. And by me being able to offer that service to individuals, they were willing to give me an opportunity. And along with that, Valerie also mentioned to me about becoming a mental health peer specialist. I never thought about, becoming a mental health peer specialist. I did mental health peer support while I was on my vacation, but I never thought about actually following all the way through with it until Valerie had mentioned it to me, and we discussed and we talked about how it could be an asset for me.
And Bass was able to connect with the people who paid for the training. We were able to get them to the people who would who facilitate the training and get it paid for.
Exactly.
And now he's certified, and that's something else we do, because I tell him all the time. And now Robert is that person he volunteers in the Veteran Treatment Court. So in Judge Long's court, as a matter of fact, for VAST.
Yeah.
So yeah, we try to touch every portion. Homelessness in the Veteran Treatment Court, because that's the deferment program. And we also try, we get them off the street, in the jail or in the court, wherever we can touch them, and see if we can follow them on that journey to get them not just stable, but using their education benefits, right?
Mm-hmm.
And education is very powerful for your mind. It helps stability, and it's good for a job. I mean, a degree is killer for a job. Yeah. And then aside from that, we can get them, or this training we're talking about is 6-day training. And this could get paid for, and then you could be hired by the VA. The VA starts about $40,000 a year with the mental health care specialist. And they want your story, so never assume that I with this background, I couldn't possibly be hired. Believe me, they will hire you.
A buddy of mine, Casey Dwyer, just put up the website for me as well.
He put up good.
Thank you, Casey. I appreciate that. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So I'm going to tell you a funny story real quick. So I'm out power washing down in the Kemah area, some houses, and I've got this extendable wand that reaches 3 stories high. Mm-hmm. And you can unscrew it, and you take it all out, and you can reach 3 stories high, and it's got a little trigger handle at the bottom. And you got to hold this thing. And my power washer is 3,500 PSI, and it's like, as soon as you hit the trigger, that wand, it flexes, and it goes like this.
Like
you got to get that under control and then power wash the side of the house. And I'm between 2 houses, and all of a sudden I turn it on, and it goes whack, and it breaks the window in the neighbor's house.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. So I stopped making sure I didn't get water in the house. I said, well, I'll go over and knock on their door in a second. So as I'm over there, I'm getting ready to head over there. I hear this woman screaming, and she's yelling. She goes, You little SOB, I'm going to tell on you. Mom, I found your baseball in the room here. And she actually has a baseball in the room, and she's screaming through the bedroom window that, I'm going to tell on you to your mom and all this other stuff. And I ring the doorbell, and she answers the door holding the baseball. And I said, it wasn't a little kid's baseball that did that. And she goes, what was it? I said, it was my power washer. And she goes, well, I appreciate you coming over and telling me. I said, no problem. She goes, don't worry about it. My husband's in the glass business. I'll have him fix it. Don't worry about it. Good deal. I said, well, can I do your power wash your sidewalk or something for you? She goes, yeah, sure. So power wash your sidewalk for her, and her driveway as well, because it was a short driveway. But it was funny. I couldn't believe I did that with that wand.
The question is, where did she get the baseball?
Huh?
She had a baseball.
It was probably her own son's baseball.
It's funny.
You know, but I'm like,
Cursing
she's
out
thinking
baby.
baseball did it, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I did purchase one of those telescopic ones initially in the beginning, and they are extremely hard to control
They
and to
are.
be able to navigate, especially when you're reaching up into high areas. So I was fortunate enough to be able to look at some YouTube videos and be able to engineer, because I actually built my own trailer. And I felt that that was very important for me, especially starting out, because I needed, if anything ever broke, I needed to know how to fix it. And I didn't want to rely on one of these big box stores and have to take my trailer up there to them, and they charge me an arm and a leg to fix it every time something broke down. So basically what I did was I engineered another method, which is called soft wash. And it allows for you to be able to clean your home properly, relying on the chemicals without having to use high pressure. To avoid causing damages.
You had layout.
So when I was power washing, we had Northern Tool and Equipment, but they were by catalog only. They didn't have stores. And I used to order everything from Northern Tool and Equipment. Yeah. But back then we didn't have YouTube either. So I had to learn on my own. Learn from my mistakes. Yeah.
I'm looking at your chat. His hysterical. Whoever this user is, I love you. He said, I like this guy, Tree. We can get past him being a Marine. I like you, whoever you are. I like you.
You know what it is if the people are like on my friends list where they allow their name to pop up, their name will pop up, but not everyone's name pops up all the time. So I don't know who it is unless you go right on Facebook and look it up. Yeah, let me see if I can look to see.
Why they calling you Tree?
Huh?
What's Tree? I like this guy, Tree.
I know who it is. It's
why's your nickname Tree?
Huh? Tree's my nickname because I'm 6'8". Huh? Can you hear me? Oh shoot! What happened?
I'm sorry.
We just lost Valerie there.
Hello.
Can you hear me, Valerie?
Yes, I'm back.
Okay. I don't know. We just had a little deal in the thing. So
I see El Jefe. That must be Hector. Hey, Val.
No, you know who that is? That's Jeff Gonzalez.
Oh, that's Jeff.
Yeah, we were talking about you Sunday at the softball game.
Uh-oh. Was it good or bad, Jeff?
Yeah, it was good. It's all good. Yeah. So, yeah, he wrote because he's a giant, you know.
Because he's a giant. Oh,
yeah.
My
So
God.
Sunday, we Bailey and I went out to Collins Park out in Spring where they play softball with the Lone Star Warriors Outpost. And hey, Robert, you play softball?
Yes, I do. Yes,
well,
I do.
There's a he runs an organization called Lone Star Warriors Outpost, where it's all veterans, first responders, and they go play softball. And it's a neat deal. So you're with your brothers and sisters playing softball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
yeah,
Bailey and I went out there Sunday and we did a live podcast from the softball field.
Awesome.
And cool I mentioned, I said, yeah, Tuesday I'm having Valerie James on. And Jeff goes, oh, I know Valerie, you know. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
He's good people. You're amazing, Jeff.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He really is.
Guy. So, and I created Lone Star Warriors Outpost coffee for them, too.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah, they have their own coffee now. So let's see with all the Marines we have, we should do a Marine team. There we go.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Marine team in the softball league. Yeah, they do have a lot of Marines. Yeah.
You do have a new member for the Marine team.
There you go, Robert. There you go.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
Spring Tech, let's get out there.
Yeah, we'll get you hooked up with them. Yeah, they're a great bunch. So.
Hey, why do they call you Tree?
What?
Tree. Was that your nickname? I heard when you came on, it said Tree. Why?
Because I'm 6'8".
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've been called that since I was in high school. You know, actually junior high school. Coach came up to me and said, Tree, he said, McLean, act your age, not your shoe size. And I said, but I am. He goes, what? I said, I am acting my shoe size. He goes, what? I said, I wear a size 15 and I'm 15 years old. He goes, oh God. Hey,
there you go.
Yeah, and
your shoe size.
Yeah. So now I'm up to a size 16 and I'm 6'8". So yeah, that's where I got that from, tree. So it's stuck, and I've been using it for a long time. Yeah.
It's
So
good stuff.
yeah. So what's new with anything new coming on with Vast?
We were going to do an amazing, like, gigantic event in the park, Tidwell Park. We're going to do a 3-day event. We are bringing a full carnival November 11th for Veterans Day. Just all kind of events out just for that area, the Cashmere Garden, Trinity. Anyone was invited, all neighborhoods. But we had a glitch trying to reach the special events office,
Uh-huh.
the mayor's office, so we had to move it now till spring. But it's going to be a 3-day event in Tidwell Park, and I think we'll get Hefe and his crew out there as well.
Yeah. What are y'all doing Veterans Day weekend? That Saturday.
So that's November 11th, right?
That's the 12th.
Oh, the 12th? Okay,
The
November
Veterans Day
12th.
is actually on a Friday, and the Veterans Day is on Friday. Then the next day, Saturday, I think is the 12th or the 13th. I have to look it up.
What I do yearly is I get a lot of vets out, and we actually go sit in nice restaurants that's free for us.
Yeah, me too.
Yes. I mean, one time I had up to 17 vets, and we just fellowship over great food, great tasting food, in very nice restaurants.
Yeah, that's on Friday, November 11th. But on the 12th, that's Saturday. Do you have anything planned?
Ooh, what you got? What you doing?
Well, I'm going to be with Coach Cap. He's the boxing coach at TSU. I had him on a couple weeks ago, and he teaches down at Combined Arms. He teaches boxing to veterans, and he teaches the youth boxing and so forth. And we had it a podcast with my buddy's gym. That's a Army veteran, Ricky Cruz at HCX Fight Camp.
Uh-huh.
And he uses boxing in his fitness. So we had Coach Cap come out there. His name's Lawrence Blackwell. And he came out there, and Ricky's going to bring him on as a part-time coach teaching kids boxing as well. But he's going to have a boxing event with Ray Mercer's coming out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's going to be out there, and we're going to have a live podcast out there, and he's going to have a boxing event that Saturday.
Yeah. Hey, give me the invite.
I will. So if you want to come out there and probably sit at a booth, you can probably do that as well.
I look forward to it.
Yeah.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, we get Robert out there and talk about his business too.
Definitely. There you go.
Definitely.
Yeah, we really have some arm-in-arm work with this.
What'd
you say?
I said I'm actually putting it on my schedule now to attend.
What part of town are you based out of, Robert?
I currently live in Atascocita, right here in the Humble Atascocita area.
Okay. Yeah, you can probably go do. You can go power wash Judge Jason's house.
Trying to get there.
I'll talk to Carol about that. Say, hey, I got someone to power wash your house.
His wife, yeah. He does so much cool work for Vast. I mean, Robert, he can't go into the Harris County jail because that's where he left out of it. I think you have to wait like 10 years before you can go back into that jail. But we're maybe trying to get him on a what would you call it? The Zoom, where he can at least speak to them as someone who's been through it and let them know, like, this is a bump in the road, and let them know he's become a successful business person and a licensed, mental health specialist.
So because Robert was incarcerated there, he can't go back there for 10 years?
I think it's something like 5 or 10 years.
Wow.
That's so. Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, from what I've heard, as far as talking to people within the Harris County Jail, they said that it's a certain time frame that you have to have been out of incarceration before they'll allow for you to be able to re-enter back in. But I do want to add on a good note is that I have been granted the opportunity to go and represent Vast within the misdemeanor courts and in the felony courts. So Judge Baldwin and Judge Long, I have the opportunity to be able to go in there and be able to, encourage those guys and allow for them to be able to realize and see that even though your situation may look unfavorable right now, it's not going to always look like that. But in order for you to be able to make that change, it's going to first start with you. And by me being able to tell them what I've been through and what I've overcome gives them some hope to reassure them that, they can be able to do the same thing too. And that's another thing that I love about the fact of me becoming a mental health peer specialist is that I get to be my true authentic self. Everything that I've been through in my life, even though like what you did say at first, Tree, people are ashamed, and for the longest time, I had been extremely ashamed of everything that I had done in my past because like I had mentioned previously before, my mother and my father, they were upstanding citizens within the community. My dad had his own business. My mother, she retired from Earth Grains. She retired from the Hilton Garden Inn. My sister, she's a registered nurse. So for me to be the bad sheep of the family, I was kind of a little bit embarrassed. But I do believe now that everything that I've been through is for a bigger purpose. And I at some point I can kind of somewhat see it a little bit, but for the most part, I don't know what God has prepared for me. I just believe that it's going to be something great, and he's going to allow for me to utilize my past as the leverage that I need in order to be able to save one or even millions of souls.
Yeah, Robert
That's
actually
great.
spoke at VAS has a yearly summit, and I'm so proud of that. We have the only really justice involved summit for the state. And we had the VA tune in. They were supposed to all come out, but they couldn't because of COVID hit. So all of them tuned in by Zoom. And we're getting some good. Robert's one of the speakers, along with Jake Hicks, a lot of the people Tree. And we had.
So you're going to hear thumping noise in the background. You might hear it now. That's someone's tail hitting my table right now. That's Bailey, my service dog. About 3/4 of the way through every podcast, okay, so in 36 minutes, she gets up and she comes over to me, climbs on my lap, gives me a kiss, and lays back down again. But in the meantime, everyone gets to hear her tail hitting the table.
We still love
it. Yeah. So real quick, Robert, what position you play in softball?
Outfield. I love to play outfield. I love to catch those pop fly balls as they look as if they're about to hit a home run.
That's great. That's what they wanted to know. Yeah, that's what Jeff just asked me. So, all right, come here, Bailey. Get up here in the picture, then you get out of the picture. Come on, get up here. Come on. Up. Here's Bailey.
Hey, Bailey, the service dog.
Hey, Bailey.
Yeah, all right. You can oh, God.
This almost took
Knocked over everything. He's 67 pounds of pure muscle. Yeah, okay, that's enough.
Keeping him in shape,
Oh, yeah, she's in really good shape. She's in better shape than me. So I've been in the hospital 3 times this year, and I keep trying to recover, and she's ready for taking her final test, her public access test. But I've got to be able to walk 30, 40 minutes with her while she's taking the test.
No, you need to stand
and I'm keep trying to recover from that. Yeah. So, yeah. But we'll get there. Yeah, she's awesome to me. She does a lot of good. We went to a business yesterday, and the woman said to me, she goes, "I'm allergic to dogs." I said, "Well, don't go and adopt one then." And she goes, "Well, no, I'm telling you, don't bring your dog in here." I said, "It's my service dog." And I said, "You can leave." And she goes, "What?" I said, "You can leave. This gentleman right here can help me, and there's a guy sitting at the desk, She got up and left.
There you go.
I'm not leaving with my dog because you're allergic to dogs. No. Yeah. So that's just really neat. I'm glad to hear what all you're doing, Valerie, because I tell you what, I see postings online from veterans and different groups that you and I belong to, and Terry Chung is always there to comment on them. You know Terry,
yes,
I'm sure.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him on the show too, but he won't respond to messages. I don't think he wants to come on.
Terry's fine. He's just unique. He's all right.
He's unique. Yeah.
We love him.
He's a Marine, okay? There we go.
Good deal.
But no.
Hey, if you know someone who would like to volunteer to work with veterans, I don't know how to put it. I don't want to say stable, but just someone who is doing okay with their life enough that they want to give back. Especially if you got a story, we love to hear a story for sure. Just let me know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then if you have anything special coming up, I mentioned to you about that monthly podcast if you want to do.
Oh, Robert, what do you think? He's offered a monthly podcast that we could host.
That's okay with me. I'm fine with it.
And I'm talking
Absolutely.
about having Valerie come on once a month and talk about what's coming up and what they're working on and everything. Because
I think that'd be awesome. I
she's
think
very
that'd truly
popular in
be
the
awesome.
community, and she's very well known, and she does a lot of good, and so forth. So
Mhm.
I
yeah,
appreciate you. All right.
yeah. You look at this. You want Terry on a podcast? That would be epic.
Yes. God save the Queen. That would, that would be epic.
What did you say, Valerie?
I said, God save the Queen.
I'm not touching that one. Well, he works for the Social Security office,
I know.
so that would be he'd be good to have on to hear about that. Yeah.
Yeah, he would
So there's a
be.
lot of benefits for people through Social Security that they can grab onto as well. When they reach a certain age or prior to that as well. So he'd be good to have on. I'd like to have him on. Plus, I want to have him talk about the Urban Warriors hike as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of benefits that as vets we could start really looking up that we are not aware of. Like that,
Yeah.
if we took our 9/11, classes, you get paid an extra $1,000. Besides that, you get, all your classes and books paid for. There's a lot of stuff out there that we're not quite aware of that we should be.
Yeah. Someone asked me, said, "Hey, you know where I could find out this information?" I said, "Valerie James." I said, "She knows." I said, "Oh, she knows a lot. She's just a wrath of veterans knowledge." Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I've been on both sides of it, on the streets and
That's right. That's
on the
right.
services. I've used the services and given the services. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, look, you got a donation for that other organization I was talking about, not Outbreak, but Cloudbreak.
Yes,
Mhm.
a few days ago. This is a housing organization, and they gave VAS $500. I was like, wow, because that's not what they do.
Mhm.
So they gave it to you?
They did. They gave it
Oh,
to
I
me.
thought you gave it to them.
Oh
Okay.
no, I wish, because they know what we do. We're dealing with people that suddenly we have to put in hotels
Mhm.
because it's like a Sunday at like midnight. Everything happens for some reason after
Right.
Friday.
Right. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So no,
Just
we
like
do. We VAS does a lot with a little.
just like your dog gets sick on a weekend, you got to go to the emergency vet, and it's 10 times the amount you'd pay in the normal vet. Yeah,
Exactly.
you
Everything
know.
happens exactly
That's
that way.
right. That's right. That's exactly it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's good to know. So, real quick, can you tell people about Cloudbreak?
So Collaborate Communities, they have about 8 different locations in the United States. Collaborate Communities is the largest veteran housing in the United States. Here in Houston, in Midtown, 4640 Main Street, they house 500 veterans.
Oh, that's something.
Collaborate, the place who gave me that's what is so in my heart, is so dear. They gave me the $500, which that's not what they do, right?
Yeah.
But 17 years ago, they're the organization that took me off the street. That
Well,
is where I was when I was
they've been around
young.
that long.
Yeah, and they're my family. And then when I got out of the military, that campus hired me. So I
Wow.
went from homeless with them to a staff member for years. And so we've done a lot of work together. We're actually, VAS is working right now to bring up a music therapy for those 500 veterans. We're going to be bringing in clinicians who happen to be musicians. And we're going to be, and that's not just for Cloudbreak. If you know anybody who's going to, in about 2 weeks, we'll be able to offer music therapy for anyone who
Well,
inclination to play or just hear music.
I've got some other therapy for you. And
Tell me.
I had her on last Friday. Excuse me. She's got her own business called Best Medicine Brigade, and she believes in hilarious comedy, using
Excellent.
comedy in healing. And that is this lady right here, retired Lieutenant Colonel Robin Phoenix Johnson, and she is absolutely hilarious. And
I have to look her up.
well, we're going to try to get her to Houston, and I said, she goes, well, try to create some venues and so forth for me to do. And I thought we could do some VFW posts and American Legion posts, and then find an organization. That would be the one to do it for. For someone housing 500 veterans,
Yes,
we could
that's
get
quite
with.
all
I
right.
know, like the auxiliary president at 8790. She has contacts in getting the Harris County buses.
Oh, nice.
I mean, if we can get a couple of those buses to bus the veterans over to a facility to have, a show and so forth on, that would be a good thing.
But I'm just saying, they could have a
Yeah.
show on that campus because that's
They
quite
have
an
buses.
audience size. Yeah.
They do? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, she is really funny. She talks about her military service, her being a mother, and growing up in small towns. But she's really funny. I mean, she brought up a story that about her husband. She goes, she bought a stripper pole and brought it home and gave it to her husband. Says, "Here, let's spice up our life. Why don't you install this in the house for us?" So he did. So she gets home and it's he put it up along the wall to hang her clothes on. And it's still there. She goes, I can show you a picture of it right now. And it's still there. She hangs all her clothes on it,
Hysterical.
He didn't install it as a stripper pole. He hung it up for her clothes. Oh, that's funny. Y'all are thinking, oh God, they were talking about a stripper pole on this podcast. And now,
Oh no, I got excited. I was like, yay. Where we going with this?
Yeah, where we going with this? Yeah,
When's the show?
She's hanging all her clothes on it. I mean, that's funny. I mean, that's really
That
funny.
is funny.
Yeah, it is.
I know. So
We could even have her do that comedy routine because we have the pods. So another great thing about Harris County, not just a place that houses 500 veterans, but when you get put in jail, veterans are everywhere. They're in general pop alongside of all kinds of people. In Harris County, we have the largest pod that they put all the veterans to sleep in one location. So they have that camaraderie again. They sleep in the same pod. 72 veterans in one pod is the largest in the United States.
Jason was telling me about that. I wasn't aware of it.
Yep, and that's where we go to every 2 times a week to teach things like the authentic manhood.
Mm-hmm.
And Jake goes in, Tom Kane goes in, and yeah, she could teach it right. She could have a class right there with them.
Well, she has a bunch of other veterans and spouses of veterans, Bailey's underneath the table again, on her that are comedians, comics working for her. And you never know. She might even have one that's done a little time. You never know.
Right.
And
There you
I'll have to
go.
look into that. I'll look into that because that would be a good thing, to have someone like that come on. And I mean, sure,
Yeah.
they have like a television system where they can watch stuff on there, have them come on and entertain on that as well,
And the good thing is people worry when you say going to jail to see the vets. They created this gorgeous office building that's only 5 years old. The pod where the veterans are, it has 24 windows in it. It's an office building. They put them upstairs. It even has video conferencing where they can talk to their family members.
So it's not within Harris County Jail. It's a separate.
It's across the street, and it's a brand new building called Reentry. And they're up in the top of the office building. Very modern. Jails have no windows. They have 24 windows in that place, and they're towering windows.
Yeah.
Wow, that's something.
The walls are decorated like military. They let them paint, which is also unusual, and they have military logos going all the way around.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be neat to see.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw
let me
that.
know.
I saw Michelle was there with River, her service dog. Yeah. So, and actually, I was talking to Jeff Gonzalez and his wife Marisol, and I posted up last week that we're going to be live at the softball fields with Jeff Gonzalez and his sister Janice Marino. That's actually my co-host. She's a hoot. She's actually she was an airborne soldier in Afghanistan, and she was chosen to jump over. She was chosen to jump over Normandy for the 75th anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So what an honor that is. Here she is.
Yeah, it is.
She's the only soldier I know that took a selfie of herself jumping over Normandy.
Yeah, that is so cool.
I know, right?
That's cool.
So she's my co-host, but it's Jeff's sister, and they're a whole family of veterans and everything. But we're talking about that, about getting a service dog for them to have, for Jeff and his wife to have, but at the same time, they would take it out to the softball fields for all the veterans to connect with, which is great because a lot of the group homes I've seen, they have group dogs as well. They have one house dog, and everyone connects with that dog.
That is so cool. Like
Yeah.
a service dog for the whole house.
Right. Yeah.
Is that Easter Seals? Who does the service dogs? I think it's Easter Seals.
Yeah, Easter Seals does, but Bailey and I go to a school that's really neat. So let's say, Robert, you wanted a service dog, and there's some waiting lists to get them and so forth like that. Not everyone can, boom, give them to you right away. Now, the Rescue for PTSD, where Bailey and I go to, they will supply veterans with dogs, but they also teach veterans how to train their own service dogs.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot of, like we go to school and there's 40 other dogs that are in veterans with their dogs.
But let me ask you, I mean, that's wonderful. Chris, do they give you some kind of certification that this is a service dog?
Well, there's truly no certification in the state of Texas.
Oh, wow. I thought when they weren't
everyone thinks there is because they can go on Amazon and buy one.
Huh.
Yeah, people go on Amazon and buy certifications all the time. They buy vests too that say service dog, but that doesn't mean anything. A certification is, I've got my ADA cards, my American Disability Act card I carry, and it says what a business can ask you and what you can and what you have to tell them and all that. But there's truly no certification in the state of Texas or paperwork that says, hey, everybody says, oh, I got my certification, I got my canine handler card. Who issued it to you? There's no certification in Texas.
Wow.
And you can contact the rescue for PTSD.org, and they'll tell you themselves. The director, there is none. It's just
but that's good that you can go get the dog from there, and then they'll give you some training. That's wonderful.
Right. Now, if you go on a flight, an airplane, and everything, they might ask you who trained it. Well, that's fine. The rescue for PTSD.org. Yeah. But
put that in my wheelhouse. Thank you.
Yeah. Great organization. So, and the thing is, though, is like another thing is, not all dogs work. You got to have a dog that's got the temperament and the willing to train and everything. Because they've had veterans show up with dogs that just do not work, Yeah, I mean, some dogs, they want to fight with every dog there. And it's like, no, that's not going to work. You can't have a service dog that's going to attack other service dogs.
Right.
Yeah. So Bailey got attacked.
Actually, the service dogs take after owners because the owners be attacking other owners. So the dog is following suit.
Bailey got attacked at a store by another service dog.
Oh.
And the veteran's like, oh, he's fully trained service dog. And I'm like, that service dog doesn't attack a service dog.
Right.
They don't. That's the purpose of it. And his dog attacked Bailey. Yeah.
Bailey's okay though.
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, he tackled this dog because I told him, I said, I'm gonna shoot your dog. He tackled it, Yeah. I'm like, I'm on blood thinners. I take blood thinners. I get a cut, I'm gonna bleed to death. So I'm fearing for my safety, Sorry, dude, I'm gonna shoot your dog. He tackled it, but
outright blunt, huh?
I don't want to bleed because you're, So, but yeah,
that's one way to train a dog.
Huh?
Train a dog Army style.
Yeah.
We'll teach them how to heal.
Oh yeah. So yeah, dogs are awesome. I mean, even driving in Houston, I'll be driving in traffic, and I get frustrated with traffic, people cutting me off and everything, and I got to refrain my finger. I'm like wanting to, and I'm like,
crank it up.
I don't want to get shot driving in Houston. So Bailey, she'll reach across with her paw and touch my arm as if, Dad, it's okay. You'll be fine. Calm down. And she does. She knows it. She knows 4-letter words really well. Mm-hmm. She does. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I think my dog speaks English too. Seems like he understands everything I say.
So you have a dog at your house?
Yes, I do. I have a Schnauzer here.
Yeah, that's great. And
very aggressive though.
He's aggressive?
Yeah, he is. I'm trying to work on his temperament by having him out at dog parks and letting him interact and engage with other dogs, but we don't stay too long. It's more of a hassle for me trying to keep him calm.
That's good that you're doing that, get a good leash with a good harness and so forth when you do this so they don't come unattached or slip over their neck or anything like that. But keep doing that, Yeah. Like my neighbor's dog last night while I was walking was just barking up a storm at Bailey and was really furious. So I had Bailey lay down. I gave her the command to lay down. And as soon as Bailey laid down flat, she was the same height as the other dog. So the other dog calmed down because Bailey and her were the same height.
Yes.
And Bailey wasn't standing above her looking down. Hey, Valerie, did you bring enough for everyone? Can you whistle us a
I
tune
had
right
a
now?
breakfast Oreo cookie.
Can you whistle a tune real quick?
No, it would not be pretty.
So Sunday night with Jeff, he's on the podcast chewing gum, and I look at him and say, "Hey, soldier, did you bring enough for everyone?" You know, and I remember drill sergeants used to say that to us all the time, and he's like, no." Yeah, Oreos for breakfast. You know what I had for breakfast? I had
Tell me what.
oatmeal. I had oatmeal.
Not exciting. I would say the Oreos are much more exciting than your
Yes, it
oatmeal.
is, but it's a lot better for you eating the oatmeal.
True.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to go take my half an hour walk.
That's
I
good.
try to get in 1.5 miles.
That's
Because
good.
now we're not, the heat index is finally dropping enough where I won't be unconscious on the sidewalk.
Have you been outside this morning?
No, but I just
Oh,
saw
it's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful outside. Bailey and I
Yes,
were
it
outside
was.
playing earlier, and
I think it's going to reach 86 only, and then going to hit this weird that mark. Wednesday, we're going to fully drop. It's about time.
what are you doing Wednesday?
Ooh, that's a great question. I know I'm doing something. Robert, I know you're going to be talking to Veteran Treatment Court. This Wednesday,
Not
right?
tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I won't be in Veterans. Actually, tomorrow is my birthday. So tomorrow I'll be turning 46 years old tomorrow.
Give you a little bit of applause
Oh,
right there.
I am taking Robert, his family, and a lot of other veterans to the Astros game.
Oh,
That's
really?
what I'm doing Wednesday. Yes.
Well, we are going to Hector Grahn's golf tournament tomorrow morning.
Oh, how
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, he's got one going on down in Pearland. Yeah. So
You're
it's
gonna-
it's his first one. Yeah.
Hector's doing such amazing things in the community. He and I grew up together. We first met years and years ago. We were just getting these little tickets from one of our friends who would give him free sports tickets. And we'd always meet each other, and we were so quiet. And then all these years later, we both just became these pillars for the community. I'm
that's
so
great.
proud of him. Yeah.
So you've known him a long time then, huh?
I've known this guy so long.
Yeah.
So long. I remember when one of the kids, the last kid that his wife gave birth to, I have to steal this picture in the hospital with her and the baby.
Oh, wow. You have known him a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're beautiful people. And they
they
do
are.
so
They are.
much. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what blows my mind is, and I get it too, like I was at 8790 Saturday night for their Boots and Bling event, which was a great time. I don't go out much at all. You know, it's mainly because I don't drink anymore and I just don't want to be around too many people drinking.
Mhm.
But I went to it. Bailey and I had a great time. But I mean, I immediately got followers saying, "Hey, why don't you come to my VFW post? Why you always go to 8790? Why you always go to post 654?" I'm like, well, they're close to my house, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But so I'm going to start hitting, like I'm going to go next Monday. I'm going to the Conroe VFW hall.
Wow.
And I'm going to talk with their commander up there and the auxiliary president up there. So that'll be good.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
What do
Have
you
you
get?
met
I gotta the RG
What's-
of the 8790?
87? Yeah.
Yeah, I've known RG
Yeah,
a while too.
Yeah. So
I got to see, how do you get, they asked me why I don't go to the events, but I don't see them. Is there a place I even look at the website to see what's upcoming? I don't see it.
I always go there. I follow their Facebook pages because so many people comment on the Facebook pages, you know?
I'll
That's
peek
when I see
again.
it. So I even saw someone shared a post last week with me about a mix meet and mix thing, you know, meet and mingle mix thing, and they're having last Wednesday night. So I figured, hey, RG, I'm gonna come by, you know. And then I told you I was going there. So I
And I couldn't escape. I went to the mayor's birthday and never got out.
I got there. It's a good thing you didn't go. I got there, and they brought in an old folks home.
What?
They had an old folks home in the.
So it
in
was
the
a senior singles mixer? Or?
I guess. I'm like, I think I'm gonna go. I'm sitting there. Come on, Valerie, where are you at? I'm sending you a text message. Calling you, like,
I'm suffering. I'm
you
suffering.
got to get out of here, you know. But
It's hysterical.
I know.
I trapped you in a senior singles mixer.
I know. So, oh yeah, that was different. But yeah, so we went Saturday night. But yeah, I'm gonna go to I just remembered her name. What was her name again? Marcy Walter Phillips. Have you met her?
That's one of the few names I don't know.
She's the commander at the post in Conroe, the VFW post in Conroe.
Okay.
Yeah, and what's neat about Conroe in Montgomery County is there's such a large population of veterans up there.
That is
So I'm
cool.
gonna have Heather Herlong Stevens.
Is
She's
she
a
out there
president.
too?
She's a president of the Blue Star Moms up in Montgomery County. She does a lot for veterans up in that area as well. So she's going to come on once a month and talk about events going on in Montgomery County for veterans.
Oh, that's cool.
So I
That's very
invited
cool.
her. She's one of my specialty co-hosts, just like you'd be a specialty co-host if you want to come once a month and talk.
I would be honored to.
And then you could come on once a month and bring on different guests as well if you want. Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
I'm gonna put you
Hey,
down.
congratulations, Chris. I didn't say congratulations on your podcast, dude.
No,
That's wonderful.
You've told me dozens of times already, but I appreciate it. Yeah.
No.
So
We got to be celebrating when we do this stuff, right?
oh, I know. No, it's a lot of fun. I love doing it. It's keeping me going since I don't have this up. I've been meaning to show that up. There's your website. For our listeners, we have Valerie James. Her website is vastx.org, vastx.org, and that's her website. And then Robert, once again, go ahead and name off your website real quick for everyone to hear what it is.
It's acceleratepressurewashing.com, XLRA pressurewashing.com. If anybody wants to follow any of my latest pictures and videos, they can also go to my social media platform on Facebook at Accelerate Pressure, on Instagram at Accelerate_pressure, and on TikTok at Accelerate Pressure. So you can also see some of my latest videos for commercial projects and residential projects that I have done too as well.
Robert, I see a lot of people have YouTube videos they're using for their businesses, and they videotape themselves cutting grass and doing stuff like that. I mean, and they have YouTube channels and they have dozens of followers and all that, and they're getting sponsors. I mean, I saw recently a guy got a John Deere lawnmower, one of those stand-up lawnmowers, for doing yard work. Yeah. So,
That's
that's
nice.
something you ought to get into doing. I mean, hey, free equipment is a good thing.
Yeah, I do. I do have a YouTube channel. I just haven't posted so much to my YouTube channel, but I have seen other guys that are in the pressure washing industry that do have YouTube channels, how it boosts up their algorithm for their Google business page, as well as it allows for them to receive sponsorships like what you were talking about, where they're getting like 8-gallon and 10-gallon per minute machines in order to try out. So I definitely am looking to grow towards increasing and posting more on my YouTube channel too as well.
I can vouch for it. Bailey gets coupons from Purina Pro Plan because I do the hashtag Purina Pro Plan for her dog food that she uses, and she's on TikTok. She's got a following on TikTok.
Wow.
And because of her following, she gets coupons. Sometimes free bags of dog food, sometimes $5 off, sometimes $1 off. But I mean, she gets these coupons. And when I get them and I go to the store, I put them over there by the Purina Pro Plan so people can use them as well, because I only buy one big bag a month, for. Yeah, but I mean, it's out there. You can get it. Yeah. So
it is. It definitely is. It's a lot of hard work, but I do want to say this, that becoming an entrepreneur, it takes a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication and a lot of sleepless nights, and it's for the strong. It's definitely for the strong. If you're not that type of person who is able to create your own destiny for yourself, then I think it's probably best to just work a 9 to 5.
Because it does all. Heavy is the crown.
Do you have yard signs to put out with your business name on them?
Yes, sir. I do have yard signs. I have door hangers. I'm pretty much well-rounded in everything. that I need to do as far as managing my business. Now, the next level is working on my marketing. I want to be able to market my business a lot more effectively in order to be able to generate more customers.
I had a ton of customers in Kingwood in the Woodlands. And the reason why is because it's piney woods, East Texas, a lot of pine trees and all that, a lot of
Mhm.
mold and mildew in those areas. And you're
Mhm.
already living up in one of them.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you want the residential business, it's up there. That's a
Yeah, it
fact.
is. It
Interesting
is.
thing is Robert also power washes rooftops. And the reason you
Yeah,
power wash a
yeah.
rooftop is that when mildew sits on a rooftop, it
Yeah.
eventually will eat through it. And that's why you have roof leaks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I had
Yep.
never even thought about that till I saw him doing it on his site. So not just get power washing up your sidewalks, keep them from breaking down. That eats away. It's siding and it eats away on rooftops.
Yeah. So
And it
Yeah.
can become slippery too, and a lot of people, they tend to overlook it. But, especially on your walkways, if you have a lot of mold and mildew that's built up over time and it's raining outside and you got to hurry up and
it's
try to
slick.
run from your front door to your car. If
Oh,
you're not careful, you will slip.
And
Going
if you have
down.
Crocs on, you're going to go flying. I know. I tell you what, I have my original power washer I bought in the 1980s from
Mhm.
Sam's Wholesale Club. It's a Honda motor,
Mhm.
and it's to this day I can pull one start and it still starts. And it's 50 years old.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
yeah. And
Hard
it
to
has
make.
the original cat pump on it, the blue one.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's old, but it's paid for itself over and over again. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got the driveway cleaner, and I just, like
Yes.
my lawnmower, that's pretty awesome. I use that.
So much easier. So
Yeah.
much easier.
Oh, I know. I used to do the zebra striping on people's, sidewalks. But tell you what, your arms build up quick too. Yeah.
They do. They do.
Yeah. So,
They do.
yeah. But when they came out with the tip that rotates as it spins, have you seen those? It was
The turbo
tip.
nozzle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
When they
have.
It's
came
like
out with
a
those, I
buffer.
was like, "Oh, this is awesome!" Yeah. But
Yeah.
I had a power washing job one day, and I pulled up on it, and someone else was doing the job, and I rang the doorbell, and the woman said, "Well, this guy gave me a better deal." I
Mhm.
said, "Is he insured?" She goes, "I don't know." I
Yeah.
said, "Well, you better check it out and see if he is." She goes, "Why?" I said, "Because he's washing all the brick off the side of your house."
Yeah.
And she says, "What?" I said, "Your house was built in the 60s and 70s, and the
Mhm.
brick on it is when you hit it with a power washer, it turns it to dust." And she goes,
Exactly.
"How do you know that?" I said, "Because I'm experienced. I know how to do this stuff." I said,
Mhm.
"You need to go look at the power washer. So all your water's red clay,
Yeah.
coming off the house because he was washing away all the brick. It
Yeah.
looked nice and clean, but he was washing away the brick."
Oh no, and trust me, I see it
Yeah.
all. I see it all the time. I see
And
it
of
all the
course, he
time.
wasn't insured or anything, so he hightailed it out of there.
Hey
Yeah.
Chris, what's the name of the podcast? Is it,
It's Vets and Coffee, the podcast.
say it again, Veteran Coffee?
Vets
Okay.
and Coffee, the podcast.
Vets and Coffee.
Yeah. I guess I ought to put that up. Well, it is. Well, it used to be. Where's it at?
It's kind of behind us all. Vets.
It is,
And
it
it
is.
is vet and okay, cool. I'm already
Yeah.
putting this on Facebook because I think it's so cool.
Yeah. So it's usually up in the top corner up here, a little tiny one, but it's probably because we have 3 screens up,
Yeah.
Yeah. So this will go out today. It's live streaming on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube.
Okay.
And then after the show's over, I'll upload it onto iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Podchaser, Podcasters, and I think a couple other ones. But I'm waiting to be approved to get on Pandora.
Cool.
Yeah.
Deal.
So then that's audio only because we have a lot of people. I have more listeners than I have watchers.
That's awesome.
Yeah, on YouTube, maybe I'll have over 500 watchers, but on, the audio side, you'll have thousands and thousands of people listening. Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome.
yeah. And something I failed to do this time. I always like to bring these up real quick. If you see that, I bring this up
Oh,
during
yes.
the podcast. Yeah, I bring that up. And then something else I do is I didn't mean to bring him up. You see who that was?
Tim Stroud, absolutely.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring him up. But that's funny. I always like to bring this up. At the bottom of the screen here. Veteran crisis line.
That's a good line.
And dial 98, press 1, or text 838-255. If you're feeling down and out, you need someone to talk to, please contact one of those. And then I also bring up about Combined Arms, because through Combined Arms, you can find different veteran service organizations to help you out as well. So I bring that up as well. So I thank y'all for coming on the show today.
I had a great time, Chris. Thanks for having us.
You see, you need to do this once a month and come up here and talk about your own stuff if you want to. You'd be more than welcome to.
I'll do it. That's fine.
It is, yeah. So
bring some of my rowdier friends on and just have a good old time of it.
That's it. Yeah. So I just stay away from politics.
I agree.
I don't do politics on this. It's all about helping veterans and what we can do to help out our veterans. That's all it is.
Making a more cohesive community.
Yeah. So all about getting the word out. Because, Cloud Break's been around a long time, and I never knew about them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right there at 4640 Main Street, 500 veterans.
Yeah, I know about U.S. Vets.
And they exist on that campus.
Oh, they do?
It's the same campus.
It's the same campus. Oh,
yes.
Okay. I thought that was all U.S. Vets.
Nope. That's Cloud Communities. Out of the 500, U.S. Vets owns about 100 of them. With programs, that's the nonprofit. But the Cloud Break owns the rest of them.
Okay. All right.
So it's pretty cool.
Hey, Robert, were you housed in there as well?
No, I wasn't. I was fortunate enough to be able to come home to my parents and to a stable background, stable residence. But I truly have, like I said, I've truly worked with Valerie and the vast organization, and they have really empowered me. And I also do want to say this. If there is anyone that's looking to become a mental health peer specialist, then they can contact either myself or Valerie, and I could be able to help other people who have experienced the same type of trauma that I have experienced in my life, and help them to be able to obtain a certification by the state of Texas, no matter what their background is like, and allow for them to be their true, authentic self, and be able to obtain a job as being a mental health peer specialist, a recovery specialist, or anything along that career path, so that they could be able to have some sense of entitlement about themselves and confidence about themselves, so that they could be able to create a path towards success in their own lives. And that's what I myself, as well as along with Valerie, like to do. We like to help other people that the stigma has been placed on them that they're a convicted felon and they're not worth anything. But my objective and my goal is to put that stigma to rest.
Thank you, Robert. And that's true.
People to see that change is possible.
And that's what we do. So
that's
please,
awesome.
I was homeless, and I get it. U.S. Vets and Cloud Break communities, they save lives. It wasn't just let's give them housing, because that's what kept me being homeless. They start bringing in. Matter of fact, they helped me get a job at the VA as well. So it was full wraparound services. So I owe them my life, and I've been coming back and helping those vets any way I can.
That's great. So, you see someone online, they post up, hey, I'm a veteran and I'm homeless, I need some help. We can immediately just say, who should they go to?
To tell them to give me a call. Tell them to reach out to me on the VAST site, or contact Robert. He does amazing work with VAST. We can get them housed and stabilized.
Yes.
And if we can get them stabilized enough, we can also get you employment, return you as a citizen, versus someone who's constantly needing services, maybe someone who's able to eventually give them.
That's awesome. That really is. So
I want
go ahead, Robert.
That's That's another reason why I started this pressure washing business, is because like I said earlier, I had been rescinded on so many different job offers and nobody was willing to ever give me an opportunity to where I started my own pressure washing business. There are other people that have been in the same type of trouble that I have been in that just cannot be able to find a way for themselves. On some of the projects that I'm working on, that is one of my goals, is to be able to bring on felons or people that have been incarcerated or people that are on probation and allow for them to be able to work and be able to generate some income too. So that was, or even take it to the next level and help assist them in starting their own pressure washing business. And that's what I'm truly passionate about, is helping other people and helping other people to change their mindsets, to be able to realize that no matter what they faced in their life, that's their past. Their future can be totally different. It just depends on how much energy that they want to invest in themselves.
Well, Robert, I thank you for saying that, because you're actually going to create someone that's going to be competition against your own business. But
I keep telling them not to do that. He says it like nobody.
Than you do your business. That's
Nobody.
awesome. That's awesome.
All
So
right.
hey,
I hear another person.
Let's go. Let's contact Robert. Yeah, that's a good thing. So Robert, do you drink coffee?
Yes, I do. I'm running on 2 cups right now.
I know. I meant to meet Chris on that day when he had his singles mixer and get some coffee, because I hear it's amazing. His singles mixer, and get some coffee. We're going to be meeting Chris and get some coffee.
Robert, what kind of coffee you drink?
Folgers.
Oh God.
Hey, that's what I grew up on. So, I grew up watching my mother drink Folgers until I went into the Marine Corps.
I got
what kind of coffee do you drink, Tree?
I'm a coffee roaster.
He creates his own.
I create my own. Yeah.
Well,
I
I'd
drink
love to come and have
Patriot Knife coffee.
I'd love to come and sit with you and have a sip of your roasted coffee.
Yeah, I even have Bailey's Brew Coffee Company, named after my service dog. She has her own coffee.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So she has her own coffee company. And then I've got, where's my other one at? I got everyone else's post information up here but my own. Here's like a bag of coffee right here. Foster's Run, named after my great uncle that was killed in Okinawa in Sugarloaf Hill during WW2. This is actually named after him. Foster's Run. And this coffee is what I send to the USO at Sugarloaf Hill for the veterans to drink, or for the the Marine Corps soldiers to drink at Okinawa. So that's for them. Yeah. But I got some other blends here you might like. I
screenshotted both of those blends.
Here's my E4 Mafia Crazy Coconut. I've got GD214 Alumni Bourbon Pecan Coffee. That's a popular one.
That's funny.
Funny. Yeah, and this is Marty's Mountain. It's named after a buddy of mine that won the first Infantry Division. That was named after him. That's a whole story itself right there. This one's an interesting one. This is the 100% rating straight bourbon coffee. It's got the VA disability calculator on the front of it. This is a butter bar breakfast blend. Everyone loves a butter bar, right? That's and then this one's even funnier. An apple a day keeps the doctor away, hopefully, because who really wants to go to the VA? That's my apple flavored coffee. Yeah. And then I have, last but not least, this is a good one. The blend of coffee. It's the sound that a Warthog A10 makes, but it's also the sound your body makes after you drink that dark roast coffee.
Hey, I saw on the news this morning, they said if you drank 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day, your lifespan could be longer. That's what I heard.
And you lose all your hair.
Now that's a fact.
Yeah, dark roast coffee has more oils in it, so that's kind of what flushes your system out. That's why that one's called the blend.
Okay.
So it's the sound of the Warthog A10. It's also the sound your body makes after you drink it. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm texting about what we're doing right now.
Who you texting? Your buddy, the mayor?
Yeah, I will.
No. Yeah, real quick, this is my new shirt I have coming out. I'll be having these soon from Grunt Style.
Oh, nice.
OD
Nice.
green, of course. Yeah.
How
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I got those coming out soon. Yeah. So, all right, y'all. Once again, I thank y'all for coming on. And I always have one last thing I bring up, before I do this, and it's never let them be forgotten. And once again, I thank y'all for coming on, and y'all have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.
Yay. Bye-bye, Chris. Bye, Robert.
Bye.
Thanks, Robert.
Take
Bye.
care.
Thanks, Valerie.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Vets and Coffee, the podcast. As you can see, veterans and coffee are Tree's passions, and we want to make a difference in the veterans community. And with your help and continued listenership, we'll do exactly that. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. See you next time on Vets and Coffee, the podcast.